Good morning. It is another Mindset Monday. I hope you're ready. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Bridget Rooks, and I am here in the Creative Vibe Studios where we focus every single week on the entrepreneur lifestyle and how to prepare your mind for what's to come. Running your business, having a small business, or being an entrepreneur is not easy. So I give you kudos for showing up every single Monday prepared to reset your mind and achieve your goals this week. So let's get into it. Today, we're talking about branding and business mindset. And what does that mean when you are branding? Now, as a small business owner or entrepreneur, branding is very critical to your business. Most people get all consumed and caught up in the branding aspect, but I want you to really focus on consistency. The key word this week is going to be consistency in your brand. So let's talk about how to build consistency in your brand. The first thing I want you to focus on is your brand image. Now, when you are maybe you're a solopreneur or you have maybe a couple people under you, your brand images is going to really depend on your color story from what it looks like when people go to your website. What's the color story? What's the theme? What is the feel that they get? Now, you may have several brand images and you don't want them to cross paths because you would want to be business focused on one and maybe a more lifestyle focus on another brand. But make sure that when you are putting those images out there, that you're consistently placing them in their appropriate platforms. So having a brand image and sticking to that is really, really important. Now, keep in mind, there's flexibility in this. You don't always have to be so professional and on point and every hair in place. It more means to the relatability and the consistency of your content and the images that you're using to support your business. Okay. So focus on being consistent when you are putting your color stories, when you're getting dressed for photos, to be consistent in that manner so that it makes sense. In that way, when someone sees a post from you or they receive an email, they know it's you because of the color story and the theme and the feel. So your brand image and consistency in that is very, very important. The second step is brand messaging. Okay, so you have your image together. Now, what are you talking about, right? You want to make sure that your messaging, and anytime you send out a piece of communication, if it's a social media post on Facebook, if it's something on LinkedIn, you've written an article and you want to show your products and services and get people interested in what you're doing, be consistent in your messaging. So when I say that, you want to make sure that if you are teaching or you're an expert or if you are showing people examples of your work, be consistent in your wording and how you are talking about your business. Because what you want to make sure that the person who's reading this is your ideal client. Now, if you sell lawnmowers and you're talking about lawnmowers to someone who doesn't have a lawn, they live downtown, and you sent them this email about a lawnmower, they're not going to care. So you want to be consistent in your messaging and making sure that you are spending time writing communication that is directed straight and specifically to your ideal client. So if you're writing to your ideal client and you send them a message, they're going to know that message is for them because it's speaking to their pain points. You're providing a solution, and then you're also giving a call to action so that they will know, hey, you know what? I can trust them because they actually have taught me something in this short, brief social media post with 3 bullets. It doesn't matter how they get the message as long as you are being consistent with your communication. The third consistency that you should focus on when building your brand is your brand vision. Okay. Now, today we're in the middle of the month and your goals should still be at the top of your mind. Every month, having clear goals for your business is a must. When you know where you will see your business going, it's easier for you to stay focused and stay on course. Because if you haphazardly have a vision that changes every other week, you're not going to ever get to a specific goal or see that vision come to fruition because it's kind of all over the place. So let me just back it up by saying Your vision can change, but you can't build that vision or hit those goals until you've had consistency in putting in the work to achieve those goals. It takes time and it takes effort and it won't happen overnight. But if you're focused on being consistent with your goals and achieving your vision that those goals are providing, you will see results. And here's how to set those brand goals, right? So let's be consistent in our goals. Number one, I always talk to you guys about setting your goals monthly. This time, right now, we're in the middle of the month, but next Monday, you should be thinking about your goals for the next month, wrapping up things that you've done this month and saying, hey, what needs to be shifted over? And now you can focus on your brand goals. These goals should also include these very important four focuses for your business structure. Now, this is operation focused too, so you need to have these things in place for your business to run smoothly and so that you can see where the holes are and what's missing. So, lead generation, how are you generating leads for your business? Is that through social media? Is it through email blasts? Is it through word of mouth? Are you out networking? When you get that lead in, what happens? How do you nurture them? So, having consistent goals and best practices in place to follow through with each of these steps will help you achieve consistency in your business, because when that lead comes in, you know how to nurture them. What happens when you get that lead? How do you continue to communicate with them and let them know that, hey, you are the solution to their pain and you can help them by X, Y, and Z. And then how do you convert them? Like what happens? Okay, they're hooked, they're ready to go. How do you convert them from a lead into a client? And when they're locked in, how do you retain them so that they'll come back to you or that they'll send more leads your way? Having consistent goals that will help you build your business is very critical for brand everything for being an entrepreneur, for being a small business owner. If you can nail down these goals and you know how many leads you want to generate each month, how many can you convert, what's your capacity for maintaining those new clients, and how do you keep them on board, and what are you telling them after their project or their services are complete. So that is really, really important. And I kind of wanted to spend a little time right here because understanding how to set your goals is probably the thing you need to be most consistent in, right? We can have our vision, we can have our image together, and we can have our messaging together. But if you don't have any goals wrapped around those brand statements, you're going to be just spinning your wheels and just you'll never have any records of how things are moving along. Because when you start setting monthly goals, you'll be able to refer back to, hey, let me look back in April. I said I was going to do X, Y, and Z, and I did it, and when you start looking back and reflecting, it just gives you a reason to celebrate because you can see how you've been consistent, how your behavior and your routines and habits have helped you achieve your goals. And then all you have to do is celebrate, right? So the last thing is brand focus. Staying on brand all the time is kind of difficult sometimes because as a creator, you may have several projects and several services and several things going on that might be completely different opposite things, right? It's okay to have more than one brand focus items. If it's a product, if it's a service, if it's you as a creator, you can have those things and be great at them, but just make sure that those are consistently focused to the right ideal client, and keeping them separate is key. So make sure that your brand focus in each of those niches are clearly directed to the right audience, right? So having separate branding for a more lifestyle brand versus a more business or professional brand is very important because you have two different clients that you're talking to in those leads that will come in. You don't want them to be confused. You want them to know exactly how you can help them, and you want to be able to get them on the line so then you can talk to them even more detail about the other things you might have on your scope of work that you can help them with. So be consistent in your focus and keep things separate. This is the end. We are here. It's Monday again, and I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. And if you want more tips, please like, follow, and join me here on this YouTube channel. I've got some really great things happening, and I'd love to help you with branding. If you are looking for lifestyle mindset hacks, I can help you with that too. And most importantly, I just want you to get out there and go be great.